So I got a DM today that said, I just published my book. It will be great if you could read it and promote it in your group. Firstly, congratulations for publishing a book. I know that writing a book takes a lot of effort, and it's a lot of life learnings and wisdom to produce something like that. So that is super awesome. I'm really happy for you. Now, what I do want to encourage people is that when we're sending DMs to people, and it's a DM, this is actually a really nice DM. I've received other ones that are, how should I say it, even more straight to the point, which is like, yeah. But essentially, it's short message that is, I published a book and can you promote it? That's what most people write. And how we navigate through life and wanting people to do things for us is to communicate effectively. And that means for the other person to be able to form a connection with you, resonate with you, establish some trust, establish some rapport, establish that bonding is definitely required in life and in business. We got to think about, why does someone want to randomly promote our work, right? It's not that it is not useful. Of course it is valuable. The time that we spent in writing, it's super valuable. There is also a lot of people that write books. When we go into a bookstore, how would you pick a book? There's thousands and thousands of books. So what makes you personally go and decide on one book when there are so many of them? We all have constraints. We all have time constraints. So when we cannot simultaneously read 1,000 books. We can only pick one. We can only read one book at a time, right? I mean, you can read multiple books, but not at the same time. Like, you are only reading one book at a time. You can switch books in between, but you're still only, in every single moment, you're only focused on one thing. So with this in mind, what makes like your book stand out or become priority if you want someone to read it? Just because a book is given to us for free, doesn't mean someone would then spend their time and read that book. Because there's a lot of books. Like, I have so many books. I buy so many books, right? And every day I receive books. There are books that I have bought, which means I'm obviously have an interest in it, and still haven't had the time to read it. So when we are asking people to do something, it's like, what makes your book take precedence over an established author that has already piqued my interest, right? And I've already even purchased that book and haven't read it. What makes like your book stand out to be now prioritized over that, right? Because that's what we're really wanting people to do. And of course, this is just a book example, but this goes for everything else. If you are applying for a job, and people have like candidates that's being referred to that to do the job, what makes you suddenly stand out to be hired or be interviewed, to be considered in replacing the person that's being referred, or like an internal staff, right? Like, everything is about how can we effectively communicate how valuable we are to the market. So with this in mind, back to the current situation that I'm facing. How do we gain rapport then, right? With someone. Just like how you make friends. Just like how you date. Right? Like, why does someone want to go to the movies with you? Why does somebody want to go on a date with you? you need to go up to them and talk to them first, right? Which isn't straight up like, hey, will you marry me? Hey, will you buy this birthday present for me? It's like, why? Right? It's like, even if someone, like, you think about it, if someone comes up to you like a complete stranger, you don't know them at all, and they'll go, let me take you out for dinner. It's like, sure, just because the dinner is free, why do you want to go? If you went out to dinner with every single person that comes up to you, that's a lot of dinners. And how do you choose between which dinner to go to, right? You've got to have a reason of why you want to go to dinner with that person. And of course, yes, if somebody never get asked to go to dinner and someone rock up to them and offer them dinner, maybe they will say yes. But when there is a whole lot of dinners lined up already, why would someone choose to go to have dinner with you? Like, time becomes scarce, right? Time becomes scarce. So when there's a whole range of books, it's like, well, why that book, right? Why does that book become priority? And to be honest, the way I choose books in my book club, in my community, is because I have read the book, or I really resonate with that author. Like, I already met them, either spoken to them on a podcast, or I know them personally, and I really resonate with that person's characteristics and who they stand for. And I enjoy their energy and how they come across on camera and things like that. Like, I like them as a person. Like, I like something about them that draws me to them, for me to then have an interest to read that book, and they're wanting to share their message. So when it's a complete stranger, how would you establish a connection with me? Well, it will be like, you think about it, how would that it's being done? So if I don't know someone, of course the best way is to engage with my content. Are you somebody that already engages with my content, or it's just like, I don't care about you at all? It's like showing up to an interview where you rock up and you actually do not care about that company whatsoever. Like, you haven't researched the company, you don't support anything they do, you simply just want to go, well, here's my resume, give me a job and pay me. It's like, and then the person's like, okay, tell me about yourself, right? Why do you want to work for this company? What do you know about us? Why should we hire you? It's similar to that, right? If you don't show interest in supporting that company, why does that company want to invest in you suddenly? Or do things for you, or give you that opportunity? It's like developing human relationships is so important. People will give you time, people will invest in you, people will want to collaborate with you, people want to work with you, people want to get to know you if you want to get to know them. And if you haven't gotten to know them and you just wanting them to do things for you, where is that? Like, what's the motivation behind it? If I came up to you and go, well, how about you just come and clean my bathroom? Like, how about you just come and wash my car? And you'll be like, well, why do I want to do that? And I could be thinking, well, isn't it a privilege? Isn't it a privilege to be able to, like, do that for me? Well, you're thinking, well, no, why do I want to do things for you? Right? For some people, it might be really cool. It's like, wow, I get to get close to you. I get to check out your house. I get to, be in close proximity to you. That's awesome. Yeah, hell yes. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, when you think about, if say I wanted to get into close proximity with, like, Gary V, right? I'm not going to go up to Gary and go, hey Gary, I think I'm really cool, so would you share my IG profile in your account to all your audience? He'll be like, well, who the heck are you? What value are you providing? And I'll go, well, here's my IG account. Why don't you do some research on me and go through my reels and see how valuable I am? Like, Gary's gonna be like, what the fuck, right? Like, why would he spend time to go through my IG account on whether I can provide value or not? And you think about the IG account itself, like, that's a pretty quick scan. That's actually a pretty easy task. Reading a book, it's a really big investment. That's like many hours. That's many hours of investment, reading a book. Whereas scrolling IG is like not a lot of time. Clicking like a few videos is going to take like, what? Let's say it takes 5 minutes. Five minutes to ask someone to go through my IG, click through my reels and see if it's valuable, then show it to your audience. That's 5 minutes of time. And I'm pretty sure Gary Vee would not do that. Even if I go and volunteer to work for him for free, to be an intern and follow him and for me to pay for his coffee every single day, would he have me by his side as his right-hand person? Probably not. Even when I'm paying for his coffee, maybe I'm even willing to pay for his meal every day. I'll even pay for his dinner. I'll do that every day. Next 30 days. Would he accept that? And he's probably still won't. Why? Even when I'm paying for everything and I'm flying over to him and I'm giving up my time, he still probably wouldn't take it. Why? Right? So, like, what value is that? To him, it's like, he can pay for his own stuff. He probably have better use of his time than having me following him like a lost puppy. So I think it's really important whenever we ask people for things, we ask ourselves, what value can we provide the other person? When I reach out to authors and ask them to come do Q&As with me, I'm not thinking so much of myself, but it is, how can I help that author? Why would they want to come into my community? That's how I then send the message with that frame of mind, and draw the author of wanting to do that. It is only when we are giving out the right energy of showing how much our values are aligned. That's the same way with getting a job. When you go for an interview, it is about, how is my value aligned to your company's value, and I'm able to display that for that company to want to give me the opportunity, and I want to give them an opportunity. It's a two-way street of, we are both investing in each other, because it's a win-win situation. It's a win for both parties, because this is a much better option than investing your time in another candidate, right? Because I'm the one that is showing my genuineness. Hope that helps for you, for anyone, for life and business.